please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence. You may be seated.
This is SportsCenter.
Welcome to Toro SportsCenter. Well, it's March, so you know what that means. March Madness. And I don't know about how you're doing, but I've got 14 brackets going right now, 10 on ESPN. So $1 billion, here we come. So let's talk about the March Madness. Let's talk about our Final Four. Let's start at the end. Zach, who you got in the Final Four?
I got Florida, Arizona, Virginia, and Duke, and my pick is Florida.
Your pick is Florida. All right, well, who would be your dark horse candidate? Who do you think could get in the Final Four and maybe win it all?
Kentucky. I think they only lost by Florida for 1 point, and I think they're going to beat Wichita State. I don't think Wichita State has played a lot of competition in the conference that they're in. So Kentucky.
All right, Taylor, who you got in the Final Four, and name your dark horse to win it all?
I got Duke, Syracuse, Virginia, and Wisconsin, and I got Duke to win it all.
Duke to win it all. All right, and your dark horse is?
I got Texas for my dark horse.
All right, Texas for your dark horse. I've got Florida, Iowa State, San Diego State, and Louisville. And my dark horse team is New Mexico State. I think this could be a Cinderella story. They're like a 13 seed, but they have 2 7-foot-tall forwards. And so that means that they're going to win all the boards up top. T, who you got in your Final Four?
I have Wichita State, Florida, Michigan State, and Wisconsin.
All right, and your dark horse team?
My dark horse is going to be Kansas. I think they'll get close, but they won't make it.
All right. So after March Madness is over, that leads us back into football as spring is starting for most programs. Also leads us into the NFL draft. And that brings us to another debate as to who do you think is going to be the number 1 pick in the draft? So, Zach, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think is going to be the number 1 pick in this year's NFL draft?
Jadeveon Clowney, most talented defensive end in probably about 10 years. Be a disruptive force on the other side of J.J. Watt. And I also have a dark horse for that one. That's Khalil Mack out of Buffalo. He's a great linebacker. He'd be a great fit in their scheme.
All right. Taylor, I think you disagree with him. I think you think the Texans are going for quarterback.
Yeah, I got Teddy Bridgewater on this one.
Teddy Bridgewater, okay. My number 1 pick, I agree with Zach. I think really and truly, I think they're going to go with the best player in the draft. But I do think there's a big chance it could either be Blake Bortles or Teddy Bridgewater. So, T, who you got number 1?
Yeah, I agree with you and Zach. I think Jadeveon Clowney's going to throw number 1.
All right. Well, let's throw 2 other ones down here. Zach, where do you think a player like A.J. McCarron would go?
I think he'd go probably 2nd or 3rd round, but I'm really looking at the 2nd round for the Tennessee Titans. Jake Locker's been hurt a lot. You know, he hadn't really stayed healthy, been on the field. I think they could be really looking at a quarterback 2nd round. A.J. McCarron going to Tennessee Titans.
I agree with you about A.J. McCarron in the 2nd round, but I think he would go to a team like the Oakland Raiders. Somebody who's not going to want to spend a 1st-round pick on quarterbacks because they've been burned before with that, but some team that needs just a stable quarterback. All right, what about a guy like Dee Ford?
I could see him going to the New Orleans Saints, pick number 27. I think the Saints would really like to have a pass rusher going with Junior Gillette and Cameron Jordan on that defense. Just got Jerry Spurd, a new safety. I think they could really use him on their front 7.
Okay. I agree. I think Dee Ford's going to go into the 1st round, but I think the Bengals are going to pick him up a little bit before the Saints will. All right, well, let's transition out of the draft, and soccer is coming to a close. So, T, tell us about how soccer's going right now.
We're doing pretty well. We've only lost 1 game. The rest undefeated. We're in the final game today. And we're weak on our defense. We lost one of our key players, Matt Quinn, who's hurt, so we got to pick up our defense and we'll do well.
So there you heard it. So right now, today, we're going to be playing in the championship game. So you need to come out and support guys like T and support all the Spanish Fort Middle School soccer players. Now back to class.
Spanish Fort Middle School. This is Thomas Bender with a few words of wisdom. The following is a true story. Once upon a time there was a family, a husband, a wife, and their 2 children. They lived in a small house with only 1 bedroom. They loved each other and took care of each other, and though it was crowded, they thought they were very rich because their house was filled with love. One day the children grew up and married and had children of their own. Every winter holiday they returned to the small cottage. At bedtime the 1 bed, the overstuffed chair, and the sofa were full. The floors filled with sleeping bags. Still, the family loved each other, and they thought they were very, very, very rich. Why on earth did they think they were very rich? After all, they lived in such a tiny little house. And they were even wise enough to understand this old German proverb, love can turn a cottage into a golden palace. Today, remember that love is what makes a person truly wealthy. And with something to think about, this is Thomas Bender. Make it a great day, or not. The choice is yours.